the people don't understand today how they say, oh, it's so hard to get a deal now. They don't remember back in those days. I used to come to your office. You had that nice glass office out there. We'd sit there and we'd flip pages of ads looking for properties.
Pages after pages.
There was no CoStar and LoopNet. That's how we did deals.
Many years ago, I get a phone call from my partner, Indian guy. He said, listen, you want to make money? Yes, I do. Sell everything you have. Get involved in multifamily only. Today I'm here with Todd Nepola. Todd, I met you first about 25 years ago. I was a broker. I was actually a realtor.
That's right.
Place called Commercial Realtor, I think in Harlem Beach.
Commercial, right?
Commercial with
That's right.
Randy North.
That's right.
I had the listing.
You had the listing, and I bought the property, and you were the best broker, you and Felice, and we met, and you guys cut your commission to make the deal possible, and you got me that property, and that's an amazing property.
Oh, you still have it?
It's one of the only ones I've sold.
How about it?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the people I sold it to still have it.
Right. No, we met about, some 25 years ago?
Yeah.
At least. And I know you were looking for properties. We took you out. And by the way, as a buyer, you did not waste time. Because, a lot of time, when I was a broker, people tell me, the first questions ask, how much money you have to spend?
Right.
So when they tell you unlimited, run away.
Right.
When someone tell you I have unlimited funds, spend, get out.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. So you actually zero in. I have this X amount of money. I want this, I want that. And I took it to a couple of places. And that was an off-market listing, by the way.
Well, you were an excellent broker. Not only did you work on your commission for that deal, but you really held our hands through the whole transaction, because that was the biggest deal I ever bought at that time. That was 85,000 feet. I was, my God, I was still in my late 20s, early 30s at that point in the game.
Still look young.
But we went to that deal. Remember, we bought it from the guy, Harry Fishbein.
Right, Harry Fishbein.
He was a bull. He was a terrific guy. And his stepson's still in the business now. Is Ben Janet's terrific.
Right.
But Harry was terrific. We went through that deal. But, the people don't understand today how they say, oh, it's so hard to get a deal now. They don't remember back in those days. I used to come to your office. You had that nice glass office out there. We'd sit there and we'd flip pages of ads looking for properties.
Pages after pages.
There was no CoStar and LoopNet. That's how we did deals.
Nothing, right.
But you were terrific. And look at that. Here all these years later, we've always kept in touch. And you've always been fantastic. And I knew you would do great in real estate. So it's great to see.
Very much. Thank you very much. And by the way, that guy, Harry Fishbein, I sold another property of his called Grand Island. Mm-hmm. Don't know if you know, by 163rd Street.
Okay.
By Walmart.
Yeah, I know that area.
On 10th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it for some $5.5 million, and he did not. He's like, listen, I'm not going to sign this thing. I'm not even going to sign a contract. You give me a buy. Here's my numbers. Here's the list. Here are the lists. Here's the income, the expenses. The buyer is ready. I can sign a contract, and I want non-refundable $1 million.
Yep.
And I had a buyer. He did it, and I sold it with no contract in a way. By the way, I sold it 2 more times, and I bought it back myself.
That's what happens with these properties. They keep going full circle.
They keep going full circle. Right. And I see that you wrote a book.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the name of the book?
Keeping It Real on Commercial Real Estate.
How about it? And what is the book? Can you tell us about the book a little bit?
Absolutely. So the book was written to my intern, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I wanted to write a book that taught people all the ways they can invest in real estate. Now, as you know, but maybe your audience doesn't, that I specialize in retail properties. But
Mostly retail?
Just retail.
No commercial?
Well, only retail properties. I do have some industrial, but it's been so hard to buy in the last 10 years.
Multifamily?
Never did multifamily. Never even owned one multifamily in my life.
How about it?
Just a choice. I know. I watch your videos all the time. I know we're going to debate this.
No. Hey, listen. You know what? There's pro and con.
That's right.
For everything. Okay. I'm a kind of guy that I like to be the stupidest man in the room. So my partners are smarter than me.
Right.
If my partner is the same level as me, I didn't do anything. I need someone smarter than me.
That's right.
So many years ago, going back many years ago, I get a phone call from my partner, Indian guy. He said, listen, you want to make money? Yes, I do. Sell everything you have. Get involved in multifamily only. Because what happens in multifamily, rent goes up every single year. You don't have to do anything. It goes up. Depending on the market condition, of course. Right. In retail, sometimes, you stuck for a few years for this, very little increases, but there is less headache. Property management with multifamily, a lot of headache can be. It's hands-on, no joke. Retail, you can just pick up a check. You can be remote control.
Look,
less intense.
They're both hard,
Right.
Neither one is easy, but as I tell everybody, I say it in the book too, you got to find the asset class you enjoy working in.
Right.
I love the retail component. I have had so many connections in retail with national tenants and brokers. It's just my world. Right. I agree. You could definitely make money very quickly, and it's an easier product to get into multifamily because, hey, we all get it. A bathroom, a kitchen, it's pretty understandable versus, complex lease structures. So it's easy, but it's great. Right. They're all great.
I'm a good time on the beach. Forgive me, because I like to, when I come in, I want to know 12 months, 16 months, get my money back.
That's right.
So in multifamily, either we have a refi event or sell event.
Yeah.
But
you're more than an investor.
Right.
Because when people use the word investor, it means I'm going to put money in here and I'm going to either collect a check, whether it's multifamily, self-storage, whatever. Right. You go in and you do the complete conversion. Your team comes in, your management comes in, you renovate. So you have a skill set in addition to an investor. Right. It's more than just investing.
It is. It is. Because for me, it's an art.
Yeah.
You take it and what can you do with that?
That's right.
It's a piece of puzzle that, and by the way, if you look at all our properties, when the property is stabilized after we take over, we demand the highest rent in the area for its class.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because, again, it's management and it's what you offer to the people, the amenities. And, the other day I was in Gainesville. Okay, we have a property, we have 300 and the office is empty. And I tell the manager, what's going on here? Why is the office empty? I'm yelling at the manager. I have the listing agent, assistant, empty. You can hear a drop. So what do you want, sir? Your collection is 101%, okay? Every single month, 6 months in a row, because we just took it over. We get leases at least one a day. What else do you want? I said, I don't want anything. Thank you very much.
So I just want to know what you guys were doing at the beach today.
There you go.
Have fun.
It's about managing smart, not, you know what I mean? You don't want to see tenants coming in for problem. Oh, I need this. My faucet is not working.
Right.
I have a leak. I have this. I hate when I see that. You don't want to see that. So, everything goes through in computer, all the work orders goes smoothly. And then the rent comes in through online.
Yeah.
It doesn't come in. I don't want people to see people. Unless you're going to add value to my organization, you have no business in the office.
It's true.
The clubhouse is next door. Go to the gym, go have fun, go to the pool. Okay. Yeah. But come bother the people, that's not productive.
That's right.
So, getting back to your book, how many chapters is that? Like a few chapters?
Well, good question. You threw me off with that. Was probably around 12 to 15 chapters, right around there. Talks about, like I said, all different ways you can invest, from buying your own properties, how to get started, all the different asset classes, whether it makes sense to invest in a publicly traded company just to be in real estate, or a limited partnership, or do it yourself. So it's a short book with some good pictures, and it's the story how I got started, my journey. And as I said, I give all the proceeds to charity, because I want everyone to know that I didn't write the book. I'm in the real estate business, not the book writing business. So it's my honest opinion. I push the book like crazy because it's how I feel, and the proceeds go to charity.
Very nice. So if somebody called you tomorrow and give you they say, hey, go ahead and buy Bitcoin. It's going up. Would you buy Bitcoin?
No,
because it's not. You don't use tip.
I don't play in that game.
You don't play in that game, period.
I'm too old to know the outcome of that story. We all really know the outcome.
We all been there.
Every smart person's told everyone the outcome, but until the outcome happens, the game has to be played.
I get phone call almost every day. Buy Bitcoin. It's going to $1 million. It's going to have $500,000. Buy it. So I'm like, listen. And if it doesn't go, are you going to pay me the difference?
Yeah.
No, I can't pay the difference. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
People just go with the crowd, it's like, you have to go.
You got to go. They want to trade. It's been around for 1,000 years. People want to trade. They want to get into the quick thing, and that's why casinos make so much money, because people want to make money quick.
Always win. Right. But I always like to go against the trend.
Yeah.
So, for example, there are no. I hear all kind of things that there's no opportunity in the market. Okay.
Yeah.
Or when do you buy real estate? Now the industry is high.
Yeah.
I don't care if the rates are 20%. It all depends on the price.
Right.
And the property. So if a property was $10 million, right, for example, a normal rate 4 or 5%, now I can buy it for $5 million because the rates are double.
That's right.
Right. So it's really no such thing as a good time or bad time. It's always about the deal.
I preach the exact same story. You and I have the same beliefs.
Same thing.
We just deal in different classes, which thank God stay in yours. I'll stay in my lane. But it's true. People say, when's the good time to buy real estate? If you're not looking to flip it in 6 months, it's always a good time to buy real estate, as long as you have time. But that's for any investment. I mean, even if you were going to go in stocks, if you needed the money in 90 days or 180 days, you shouldn't be putting it in stocks.
The problem with stock, you rely on another person to manage your money.
Yeah.
Okay. And if that person had the answers, okay, why does it need me?
That's right.
True.
Listen, I tell people I'm no stock pusher in any way, but I invest in things like Berkshire Hathaway, Vanguard funds. You know, like, if I could get Warren Buffett to work for me for $1 a year, I'll take that trade.
There you go.
But other than that, yeah, I can't pick stocks. Who can pick stocks? I mean, you can't. I mean, it's been tried. You won't win.
Wait. What do you think about the new administration?
With the government?
Trump, government.
I personally, I love it. I tell people I did support Trump. I wanted him to win. I think that there was a lot of unfair things that had happened.
You want to pay the bills, huh?
But I'm a business person. And, you know, I hear all the rhetoric about like Elon Musk is there. You know, this is the richest guy on earth. And truthfully, he doesn't care about money. That's undisputed.
So why is he doing it?
He's doing it because he wants to do it. And he just has something in him that's different because it's the same question people said. He sold PayPal, I think it was, for $250 million. He was 30 years old. Why did he put every single penny he had into other companies, not just chill out on the beach? Because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't care about the money. And listen, I watched the speech the other night. When I heard those numbers that there's a 356-year-old person in America, I'm a little surprised.
That's BS.
Yeah. And you know what? To be fair to all administrations, this has been going on for a long time. So Trump was the president, 2 terms ago. So he missed all this stuff too. So I'm giving Elon and his group credit.
Right. I think the Social Security is a Ponzi scheme.
Well, Warren Buffett talks about that a lot too. I'm a big fan of Warren's. And he even says, it's such a bad system. He says, I'm not even allowed to opt out.
Right.
So why is Warren Buffett getting? I mean, isn't there just a button let him opt out? But he can't.
He can't.
So when you can't, it's just a crazy system.
Crazy system, right? Right.
But we'll see some change.
And what do you think about the rates? Are staying the same or going down? I don't know if it's going to go down too much.
You know, if you asked me that a couple of weeks ago, I would say this is a normal range for rates. If we're in the 2s and 3s, that means there's a crisis. There's something going on.
Right.
So I kind of think 6-7% is a pretty normal rate. Your deal should make sense at that rate.
Correct. Yeah.
However, now with the tariffs, if we really do get into tariffs, I think you will see rates go down.
It's going to go. I think it's going to get worse with the tariff before it gets better.
It's going to get worse, and what they're going to do is they'll offset it with lowering their interest rates, and that's what they'll do. But you'll pay more here, you'll pay less there, and it'll spread out.
The problem is the House Representative and the Congress and the Senate. Okay, we don't have too much majority in Republican because he took all the good talent to his administration.
Yeah.
So if he's up, the next 16 months, we have a new election next year. That's scary.
I give the same tip. I watched the speech the other night, and then I went to CNN because I wanted to see what the people we don't like Trump said. And even the people on TV with commentators were saying the same thing. It was really upsetting to see when Trump was going around the room pointing out that young boy, the 13-year-old boy with brain cancer, and those families who lost people.
Why not?
How do the Democrats not get up and acknowledge this? So I understand you hate Trump. I understand you hate Republicans. But aren't you human?
I know.
I mean,
how much does it cost the American taxpayer for the 13-year-old to be a cop?
So let them get up and acknowledge this poor boy has all these challenges. And what the commentators were saying is, clearly the Democrats are doubling down on stupidity because they didn't get it in November that people weren't buying this. And I have news. It's very well known. The only reason Trump didn't really win by more is because so many people voted against him.
Back then?
They didn't really want Kamala to win. They just didn't want Trump.
This time.
This election. You guys, I mean, there has to be a heart. There has to be you could hate him, but you can't hate this young boy. It was very upsetting as an American to see these people sitting there.
Very upsetting.
Yeah.
And by the way, the end of the speech, those Democrats, they ran away so fast.
You know where they went? They actually said that too. They said when they threw Al Green out, a bunch of Democrats left to go outside and make TikTok videos. So that's your elected officials. They're making TikTok videos and they're sitting there with signs that Musk stole my money.
Yes.
In a meeting like that. You don't do that. That's a poor representation.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't care which side you're on, but you got to behave like an adult.
You know what? America won this year because this administration is killing it.
So far, so good. Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Now, I see you're on Instagram. I follow you, by the way. Very impressive.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have a good team.
Yeah.
I was talking to a couple of people, and the Instagram, some people have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, Grant Cardone, other people, It's not that person is so smart, and the person could be smart. It's the team.
Yeah.
Who do you surround yourself? You know the expression, show me your friend, and I'll show you who you are?
Yep.
And you know what? I mean, how many friends I have? 1 or 2.
I'll be your friend.
Thank you. Not because of, I'm not a snob, it's not about money even, okay? Yeah. But more often than that, you meet people and all they want to do, waste your time, bring you down, and very negative. And by the way, I don't need to be negative. I know the news is negative, and I know what's going on, okay? Yeah. But I don't want to associate myself. I don't need to associate myself.
That's right.
Negative people.
Yeah, you're 100%
We need to bring positive energy to the world, okay? And the negative gonna, work itself out. I'm saying don't be in denial, okay? But don't just be negative and, like always in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell my kids since they were little, I say happiness is a choice.
Right.
You decide what makes you happy. So I have a very low threshold for happiness. So keep myself happy.
You got to. Nobody else will.
Yeah,
I see your daughter in Instagram too. You're teaching her.
Well, my younger daughter, it took off. She actually started back in the day, and it was like Musical.ly or something, and she became like this influencer, and she's doing terrific.
Great.
The older one doesn't do that, but the younger one's really into it. But she's having a good time with it. And, I'm surprised how much these kids earn, and I'm always learning from it. And I said, there's a new day, and I see a lot of parents that are my age and even older, and they still think their kids have to go to certain schools and become a lawyer, or and if not a lawyer, the backup plan is a doctor. And you see these kids, and you can't fight the trend. This is it. This is the marketing.
The other day I get a phone call from this guy, and he's like doing real estate, okay, trying to sell real estate.
Right.
And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm in with the company, okay, and I'm taking classes every day, hours after hours after hours. I'm like, listen, do you get on the phone? Do you do cold call? No, I don't. You got to get on a call.
Yeah.
Forget about studying, okay? Yeah. The only way you can study is by doing it.
Sidewalk University. Get out there and fumble a few times. Get out there and do it.
You have to. There's no choice.
You do. But that's true. This young generation, that's part of the reason I do my videos and wrote the book, because I don't give any courses. I don't mentor anybody.
You don't say anything. What's your ultimate goal with the Instagram?
Truthfully, I started doing it because I was interviewed by these guys, the school at Hard Knocks one time. And we did this little thing like, where you're from. And then we did a podcast together. And back then they took off and they said, this thing did really great. They said, why don't you make videos? And I know Grant Cardone and I like Grant. And I said, I'm not doing what Grant does. He gets followed around with the camera. And they said, no. We're not going to follow you around cameras. We'll film like for 2 days in a row for like 3 hours a day, 2 days every other month. School of Hard Knocks. The guys are great.
School of Hard Knocks.
And I said, let's give it a shot. So we did that.
Right.
And I said, you know what? It was the end of the year. I said, I'll do it for 4 months. Let's see what happens.
Right.
And it took off.
Right.
And I don't make any money. I don't charge anybody for anything.
So you feel like you want to pay it forward?
You're paying it forward, but I've gotten a lot of residual returns. So I've met a lot of brokers that want to do deals with me. I've been offered a lot of deals, nothing I've done yet, but I've made some great contacts and stuff from it. So without expecting anything, the intrinsic value has been fantastic.
Right. How long have you been doing it for? A long time?
Oh, no, it's just about a year and a half now.
That's it?
Just a year and a half.
And your goal is to increase your followers? Or?
What I would like to ultimately do is I like to teach more. So like next Friday, I'm going to be at Rutgers University giving a course for the day. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, I don't charge, but I go out to these schools and stuff. And I'd like to work with, I like to get up to people between like 16 and 21 where they're at a real pivotal point in their career and they're going to go one way or the other and try and help them out and give them some guidance.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's my way to give back.
Give back to the community.
I always talk about my brother Justin. He spends so much time in charity, building houses and cleaning the ocean, and I don't look to do that. But I love real estate, so I could talk real estate all day. So this is an easy path for me to help.
Right. So you talk about the commercial properties and retail?
Well, some of them want to do multifamily. Then I have one friend of mine. I call my friends now, but he came down. I met him, and he only wanted to get into sales of residential. So I put him in touch with another group, and he's doing terrific. So any way I could help in real estate, that's all I got to offer. I said, if you want other advice, I'm probably not your guy.
Right. The problem, the youngsters, they don't want to get up. They want to work from home.
Some of them do. You'd be surprised. I've met some really terrific kids. I mean, I got kids, 17, 18 years old that are really out there hustling.
No, so, the one that motivated, they can't, the one that's the home, they're motivated.
The work from home, I tell everybody, that just means you don't want to work. I mean, if you're a young guy or girl and you think you're going to work from home, even if you could do the job, you have nobody to mentor from and learn from, so you're out of the game.
Right. We are trying, in our channel, to take people to the next level, to get them out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
9 to 5, okay, or for example, again, our opinion. Let's say you're on a strip center or you're on a CVS and you get check every month. Okay, it's nice and good. You get your return 5%, 6%, 7%. It's not taking you to the next level.
No,
it's not bad, but it's not. So our job is to tell people, to show them, okay, how you go to the next level in terms, what to do. How do you accumulate wealth?
And that's the greatest thing you could do. Do you have a course now for that?
Not yet. And
I'm
not I'm going to do a course. Again, we don't charge money.
Right. But that is what people need to understand, is that I know enough about you to know that you could go today and go to Tahiti for 6 months and everything's okay. That's what people have to understand, is financial freedom isn't that I got a Lamborghini. I'm not saying I have one, I don't, but having a Lamborghini and a ski house in Aspen, it's being able to wake up in the morning and not having to do anything. Right. And those are the people that actually work the hardest. We talked about Elon Musk before. We talked about Warren Buffett. They don't have to do anything. Why do they still go to work? That's what you want to figure out. You want to figure out that. People say, what's the hack? The hack is to figure out, why do people go to work when they really don't have to?
They need the excitement. They need
That's right. It's fun.
The challenge.
It's fun. If I told you right now you can't do another deal, take the next 6 months of your life off, you'd be bored out of your mind in an hour. You'd walk around, you'd have lunch and say, well, no, I quit. I'm out of this deal.
Right.
Because you love what you do. And that's available to everybody.
By the way, it's very hard to, most people don't love what they do. It's unfortunate. Okay?
It's true.
It's unfortunate.
It's true. And a lot of people that don't love what they do in my world, my friends, do jobs that they were lined up to do since they were little kids. Specifically speaking, I always look to lawyers. They became lawyers because that was going to be the job. You're going to make good money, have a good career, make partner, and retire. Right. And they hate it. But what are you going to do when you're a lawyer and you've been doing it for 25, 30 years like some of my friends are? They're not quitting. That's it. Now they got kids in college. That's it. You're writing it out. And that's not having passion.
No passion.
None.
And tell us about your family. I know you still live in the same place?
Well, yeah, I still have a place in Porsche.
It's penthouse?
And I still like it. I love the building. It's a fun building.
Yeah, I used to live, I don't know why, for me, you know what, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm watching TV, okay, big screen TV, okay, in the living room, okay, that's a big apartment, okay? Yeah. Why do I hear the plumbing, bathroom plumbing?
It's a condo. Well, I'm up top, so everyone has to hear me.
What's that?
I'm at the top, so everyone hears
me.
There
you go, you're smart, okay, smart man. But when I was over there, okay, it's like, I couldn't believe it, the wall is very thin.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true, we all know how they build condos nowadays. Now they're very small rooms, but they try and get as many bedrooms as possible, so they pack as many people in, or all the money spent on the amenities. And
then you can only bring 2 cars, right?
Yeah, you can only bring 2 cars. That's true. Right. So you have that rule, but it is what it is. It's
okay. You get used to it.
It's a building on the beach, and
good restaurant, by the way.
Very good restaurant. Very good restaurant. And for me, it's great because then I spend the weekends down on South Beach. I got a place there, so I have fun on the weekends, and this is close to my office.
No complaint.
Not complaining. And if I did have a complaint, nobody cares anyway.
Nobody cares. I just say 90% don't care, 10% care. Yeah. 10% happy you have a problem.
That's true. Well, I'm sorry for those 10%. I'm good.
I'm sorry too for that. Right. No, it's what do you think about the overall general real estate in South Florida, the condo market, in Sunny Isle, and are they still selling the building, keep building. Every year there's something new, a better building,
It's true.
More amenities.
Well, I preach this, and I'm not in the residential side at all, so I know nothing. It's only an opinion, but I preach it all the time that a condo is not an investment. It's a terrible place to park money. It's no smarter than buying a Ferrari. If you want it, it's a luxury item. I know some people love security, and they think that, you got to buy because you're paying off equity, but historically speaking, condos go down. Maintenance goes up. And and some of your viewers know, but if you don't know, the state of Florida is changing the rules after that horrific collapse of Champlain Towers that every building has to have high assessments. It is destroying the value of these condos, and people can't pay it.
Especially with the old one, right?
The older the building, the worse. I think there's a certain time frame.
Right,
the newer buildings,
60, 70, 80, 90, there's thousands of units.
Right, so you have units that were worth $500,000 that are worth $2 million now because the maintenance is too high. Nobody could afford it.
Nobody can afford it.
So these things, they either have to be sold to developers and be knocked down and rebuilt. Right. And the new stuff they're building, you're entirely right. So I live in Porsche. When it came to market, it was the hottest ticket in town. And it's still a great building, but it opened, I think, late 2016. Right. There's like 5 more buildings. So now Aquilina is the hottest thing because that opened like 2-3 years ago. But now they're building the St. Regis, they're building the Bentley. So, and when those 2 are done, they're going to build more. So you're never the greatest game in town. There's always another game.
Right. I guess the lesson we learn: be happy with what you have.
Yeah, houses are different. If you have a house,
right?
I know you used to own a house. I had a house too. So if you have a house, you got a piece of dirt. But when you're on like a place like the beach, especially like where I am in Sunny Isles Beach, there's all those hotels, motels to go down, and they're going to build 60 stories. So each acre and a half of land is going to have, 200-300 units on it. So you got a lot more building to go. So land is not as valuable.
By the way, the land too becoming very, very small in the ocean. Yeah. It's like you have no. It's like every time shrink because they have no. They have to give enough room for the public.
It is. Sunny Isles Beach has gotten very small. I've noticed that. I've been in Sunny Isles now for 12, 13, 14 years. I've noticed that. And because I'm in South Beach, you see a tremendous difference. The beach on South Beach is quadruple the size.
Really? How's South Beach?
South Beach is still great. Same thing. But again, no new buildings going up in South Beach because you can't build them.
But I heard right now the hottest thing right now is Brickell.
Brickell's hot. Yeah.
Very hot.
That's not my age group. I'm 52, so that's not for
No,
me.
it's
But
not
the
right,
young
right.
kids love it. My
They
kids
love
love
it
it.
too.
It's an
Right.
amazing city. It's a
Right.
24/7 city.
Right.
It's terrific.
The other day I went to a restaurant in Brickell Avenue. Spent about, $300-400. Very little portions.
Well, it's because you didn't
I
spend
couldn't
enough.
believe
You
it.
got to spend more money.
No,
$300
it's not-
$300 on Brickell's not enough money anymore.
It's not. It's not. You know what? I don't mind going to a restaurant and spend money, but you know what? I want to get my value.
Yeah.
For example, there is a good restaurant in, I don't know if you go to the casino, Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's a place called Council Oak.
Yeah, of course. I know.
The best.
Yeah.
Nice portion.
Yeah.
It's really good food and
Yeah.
great service.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but at least you gain good value.
Yeah.
Today, I think for those restaurants, it's trendy. Like, they don't care about food, the young, they care about the drink.
They care about the drink and the pictures. I always
they
laugh.
wanna
They
be
sit
noticed.
there and take pictures of the
Right.
food. They pass the food around and but they don't even eat it.
If you want to be, if you want to be noticed,
Yeah.
right? That the care about is, like,
Yeah.
it's like they're going to see you.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I don't really care about that. I guess we're too old for that.
I just want a good meal and I don't want a line.
There you go.
Just let me go and get my food and I'm good.
What really got you started with social media?
The power of social media has always been there. I might have been a little late to the game and I watched a lot of people build it up.
Right.
I really honest, like I said earlier, I started with those guys at Hard Knocks and the feedback I was getting, it was from people who really wanted to learn real estate. And when you realize you could help someone, and the thing that I'm passionate about is real estate and I love it so much. And when you reach out and a 25-year-old guy or girl reaches out and you can help them, it's very rewarding. So it really kept me in the game and it's been a lot of fun.
I get the same feeling because it feels good, right? When you give the information that people don't. I didn't have a mentor when I started. Nothing. My wife, obviously, she was beside, next to me, thick and thin.
Yep.
But I had to make my own mistakes, and it was very painful sometimes.
I'm with you the same way. I had to learn it the same way.
You have to learn
and
the hard
now,
way.
like people talk, I love to read books, but I tell people, you could get educated in anything.
We didn't have YouTube, no YouTube, we had nothing. We had no Instagram, no YouTube, no internet, nothing. Okay?
That's how old we are.
Right.
So you didn't have all that kind of stuff. I used to look for properties in the newspaper. There was actually a newspaper ads we'd go through.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's been very rewarding in that sense to know you're helping people. And, it's a very good feeling. So I dedicate a portion of my life to giving back. And,
Right.
And, it's harder for people to understand that when they're 20s and 30 because they're greedy with their time, and they should be. I wouldn't have done it then either.
Right.
But when you get to a stage like us and you get into your 50s and you already have some success behind
Right.
you kind of want to pass it on.
Right.
And it's not about people saying, oh, they're going to compete with you. They're not competing with me. But it kind of gives you a little bit of a thrill when you see a young person doing something that you helped them with and they're doing well. So there's the give back, and that's fun.
Right. Like I know, LoopNet?
Of course.
For example, of course, LoopNet, Kresge, all those, that, and all those assets are overpriced. The price to sell in, that's the price to get out, maybe.
Yeah.
You agree. And I'm trying to teach this to my audience because I feel bad, they're looking at 20 on it, okay, for example, 20 on it, $2.5 million, okay? The average rent is like $1,300 a month. But the seller tell you, by the way, you can go up to $2,300. So you charging me to add value, and I mean, I'm paying the future price.
Yeah.
That should be the exit price.
And that's the experience that I love that you teach, because I actually saw that exact same video. I know you made a video or you were live or something. I was watching you talk.
Yeah, because
that exact story.
Really.
And it's true. Far too many people put properties for sale and they say, if you do all this, it's going to be a good deal. Well, then I want it at a fair deal now and let me make my upside.
For example,
you're not going to find easy deals.
For example, let's say you own a house, okay,
Yeah.
and it's worth $1 million, and you're happy. You have your family, they go to school and everything. If I give you $1 million, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
If I give $2 million, you pack the bags already.
I'm out the door.
Exactly.
I'll probably leave my family behind as a token gift.
There you
Have
go.
them too. Keep all of them.
Right. The same thing here. Those properties are not for sale.
Right.
But I always talk about terms.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if I'm looking at a property and it's $50 million, right? $50 million, and the property was about 50, but I have to come with $10 million. I rather pay sometimes $55 million and come to the table with $3 million down.
Yeah.
Because now the extra money can buy another $50 million property.
That's right.
So that's
what they have to learn. One of the big trade-offs is that people think they could buy properties like you could buy stock. And I don't know when it's a good time to buy Apple, but I could just go buy Apple anytime I want. You can't buy a property like that. It takes a lot of hard work to find deals.
No, you need to do a lot of due diligence, and you have to. And by the way, how much do you like it when a broker tell you put non-refundable deposit now, $300,000, $400,000?
Yeah. Well, I participate in that game because that's sometimes what it takes to get the deal. The brokers do control the deal, and the sellers want to see you go hard on day one.
My lender, my broker, he referred to me as a cowboy. Because more often than that, I put non-refundable, $500,000, $1 million, sometimes $2 million non-refundable.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I don't even have the cash to close. Meaning I have to gather it, okay?
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to close. When in 25 years, whenever I missed closing.
Right.
Thank God.
You know you're going to do it, but that is why I tell people read a lot of books on psychology, because when you're trying to buy something or do a deal, you can't look at it what's in it for you. You got to see what's in it for them. And the psychology of a seller is, I put this for sale. If I'm going to tie it up with you, I want to know you're going to close. And that proves to them you're dead serious about closing. Something could still happen. There's still legal ways to get out of those deals, but they know you're really serious. And from that moment that you're hard on a $2 million deposit, you know, you're buying big deals, but even still, that guy's thinking, this deal's done. He's already thinking about the boat he's going to buy and the vacation he's going to take. He's tapped out. But when they do a 30-day inspection period and you can get out because you don't like the color of the paint, you got nothing. So it's the psychology to sale. So you're very smart to do that.
Exactly. What do you think about people often say, you know, I don't buy market deal, I only buy off-market deal.
Nope. And you just closing the door to what you're going to buy. And you have less options. I look at any deal.
It's a myth. Exactly. Yeah. What's different? By the way, off-market deal sometimes find to be even more expensive than market deal.
That's right.
Because sellers think they have gold.
That's right. And I talk to every single broker, and I always tell the story. A broker called me. It was Marcus Chap, and his name was Benedict. And he called me and he said, I got a great deal for you. He pitched me the whole deal. I said, it's totally not what I buy. And he said, well, what do you buy? And I got that. And I spent time with him. And then he called me back like 2 months later, had another deal. I said, still not what I buy, but good luck. And a couple of months later, he called me back and said, listen, I have it. It was an off-market deal. And he said, I could bring it to 2 or 3 people. I want you to see it. They have 3 properties. They want $12 million. I said, I would take these 2 right now at 10.8. And I said, that's their price. I said, I won't even negotiate, but it never goes to market. I never even met the broker. Wow. Never even met him, but I spent time talking on the phone, got the properties in contract, bought them. It was a great deal for what it was. We fixed the properties up. We're building an out parcel on one of them right now with the Del Taco. So it becomes an amazing deal. I never even met the broker. Then I was going to meet him and he had to leave town. I didn't even meet the guy till 9 months after we did the closing in person. Never even met him. But you got to talk to every broker because these guys have access to deals. So let the brokers know what you're looking for and be honest. Don't say you're looking for a $50 million deal if you're looking for a $2 million.
I don't mind paying brokers. We love them. If I pay a broker commission, that means I'm making money.
That's right.
Right? But a lot of times they all care about the commission and they don't care about the deal. Doesn't make sense. But show me how I can make money. I don't know. That's your job. But I want to buy it. Show me how I can make money. Where's the value? Yeah. And it depends on the broker, but you have a lot of very smart ones that... you do.
There's a lot of great brokers out there, and they have access to deals that, and they're doing what you should be doing. They're on the phones all day, they're networking, they're trying to get deals. Right. So your brokers are your friends, and you're 100% right. I want them to make a lot of money off me because I want them to think of me.
That means you're making money.
That's right.
Right. And more often than that, I know a lot of landlords, they will not pay a broker.
It's true.
Okay, and I don't know, they're cheap or they don't want to pay. But you know what? If I have a property, and let's say I want to sell $50 million, I need to net 50. I don't care if the broker gets $55 million. I don't give a damn. Get whatever I need. That's my net price.
We deal with that too because my company, Current Capital, we do third-party management and leasing as well. And we come across people and they say, I don't want to pay to lease. I'm like, well, you got to understand that another agent's simply not going to bring someone to your door if they're not going to get a commission. It's like, well, let their person pay. I said, their person's not going to pay.
They're not going to pay.
And then they said, well, that's unethical. They should bring them. I said, it might be, but it's reality. No one's coming if they're not getting paid.
Right.
So you got to offer people compensation. Everybody's got to get paid.
Right. Now, when it talks about market deal, the problem I have with market deals that you make an offer, whatever, soft deposit, non-refundable, okay, you don't know what the other person is going to make. And you can never, it's become competition.
It does.
Now, it depends on the market condition. If the market condition is very strong, okay, very likely you may not be able to get it because somebody out there from out of town.
Yeah. That happens, but what I always tell people too is very important is your reputation. So I know I have it. I know you have it too. Like you said, in 25 years, you've closed every deal. Brokers want certainty too. They want to get paid. Seller wants it.
They want certainty. Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of deals where I wasn't the highest, but I had the best terms and I have the best reputation to close my deal. So someone may jump over your head and come, like you said, from New York who wants to buy it, but unless their terms are better and their certainty of closing is better, there's a lot of sellers who will take a little less money to have certainty.
I agree on that, but yes, if the non-refundable deposit, you mean?
Oh yeah, non-refundable deposit. Plus they know if you're looking at buying 300 units in Gainesville, they know you're serious. If I'm bidding on the same 300, even if I'm $500,000 more, they say, well, how many units do you? This is my first purchase. They're going to you. They're going to you. And I could say, I have the money, I got everything, but I have no experience in multifamily. They're going to you.
Yeah, because they want insurance.
Yeah.
What do you think about hotels and Airbnb?
You know, I never got involved in Airbnb. I'm not a fan of Airbnb. I'm rephrasing.
Me neither.
I'm a fan of Airbnb's model, the way it started.
Right.
As a business, when people say, well, I'm buying real estate, you're running a hotel. And
it's a business. You're in a business.
Yeah, you're not really getting a return on the real estate. You're an operator. You're running it. You're the manager. There's a lot of bad stories where things get broken, security deposits they don't get back. But on top of that, I don't play in that arena because every city has rules about it right now that are up in the air. So you could buy a house in an area, and the area could just say, now it can't be Airbnb. Your house could be worth a third less in a minute. So I don't have to play in that game.
Right. And do you buy plazas in an undesirable location where it needs a little, the location is not necessarily going up, it's a poor area? Would you buy
Poor
that?
areas don't scare me, but it has to be on main streets.
Main streets.
So I don't buy off of main streets. So you could be in a poor area, say like I'm on State Road 7 and it's a poor neighborhood or a rougher neighborhood. I'm good with that as long as there's a good traffic pattern and as long as I think things will continue to get better.
What are you looking for? Cap rate or price per square foot?
Neither one really, because I don't care about that. I'm looking for the value of the
Cash
deal
flow?
and what I could do with the deal. So like the property I told you I bought earlier, I knew I could build out parcels. Can I re-tenant it? I'm looking at a deal now that the rents are low, but they're baked in there for the next 3 to 5 years, as you said earlier. So I'm going to buy it. If I can get the deal, I'll sit on it. And before I have to refinance it, I'll be able to modify these leases to the new market rates.
And the bank, what do they give now? 30% down?
I don't do any deal with less than 30%. I'm always between 30, 35%. In 22, I was putting up over 40% to get deals done. So you have to put a lot of capital up.
Right.
But, that's what the banks want.
Yeah, multifamily, the bank are much more favorable. 25% down.
Oh, yeah.
But that, again, come with there's a pro and there's a con,
There is, my business model has always been get in the deal, get the property, buy it, have good certainty, and have very little debt. Do what you're going to do, add all the value, and then refi and pull out as much of your money as you can. So I want my money back to go on to the next deal. But in the beginning, we generally come with usually 30, 35% down.
Right. But so when do you get your money back? Within 2 years? Or?
It depends on the deal. Right now, everything that I bought in 20 and 21 and 22, like those years, I could refi all of them, but I won't because my debt is all, 3 3/4, 4%, 400. I'm not coming out of that debt, so I'm on the sidelines. My first property, which is going to hurt, but it is what it is, that I'm at 4% on an interest rate right now that I bought in, I think, July of 2020. I got to refi it this year. I don't have to, but it's going to reset. So I'll cash out. But until these things come out, I'm stuck in there because I don't want to lose that loan.
And even if you do refi, you're cashing out. It's not like you're losing money.
Nope. Just taking my money.
That's okay too. You enjoy both worlds, right?
Oh, yeah.
But right now you're enjoying the low interest rate.
I'm enjoying that low interest rate, just like why people don't want to sell their houses because now you're going to pay double.
I don't think we're going to see this kind of rate for a lot of years.
I hope you don't, because the only reason we saw is because of COVID. So I don't want to see. The only way you're going to see it is if there's something like an event that nobody sees coming. Right. A war, a terrorist attack, or something that really jolts the economy, which unfortunately these things happen every 10, 15 years. So it'll happen again. But that's the only way you're going to see it.
Come on, 3.5, 4. I mean, it's crazy. 4%.
It just depends on how much they got to give.
I think
give it away.
6.5 is normal.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I agree entirely.
That's comfortable. That's normal. Okay. I don't want to see 8 or 9. Okay. Yeah. But 6.5, that's the comfort zone that everybody has.
Well, you were in the business. When I bought my first property, it was June of 1998. I got an interest rate of 10%. And nobody could believe I got 10% because it was just coming down from 12, 13, 14%. Right. Because the market was so high. And then I refinanced it 6 months later because back then you couldn't. I got money back out. And I went to 9%. I would tell the story. No one could believe I was in single digits.
Right.
Now, if you told people 9%, they'd have heart attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that same property, not 6.5, right?
Yeah. Actually, that one I still have a low loan, but that won't be about a 6.5% rate.
You see, but in multifamily, it's a little bit tricky because it's they go by the LIBOR,
right,
plus the spread.
Yeah.
So it comes out to something like 7.5 to 8, even 8.5 sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's a bridge loan, which means it's temporarily 12 to 16 months, so you can until you stabilize the property, then you can put it 6.5%. But in multifamily, they have what they call deficiencies,
Yep.
Something
same thing in any. Yep.
Right.
Got to pay to get out.
Right. Pay to get out, or you can do like a 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
That's
what we typically have in commercial. You have the prepayment penalties. And those I always negotiate down depending on, the bank and my deal. So generally I negotiate, like I said, there will be no prepayment penalty where I have low interest rates, but that's what you do.
But that's the price you pay. You have to pay to get out. You have to pay to get in. You have to pay to get out.
Look, the bank's in the lending business. So, they don't want to be in the real estate business. They want you to do well, but they got to, have certainty of their loan. They don't want to make a loan, for 6 months.
Right.
They want a loan for the long duration. They want to set it and forget it.
Right. In the commercial, do they give you better loan if it's a better tenant or if it's mom and pop?
Sure.
They don't like mom and pop, no?
They don't dislike it because they recognize mom and pop workers are the backbone of societies everywhere. And they also realize that they don't make decisions like, say, Dollar General would, or a national company, where I shouldn't point out them, but any company I could just say, today we're going to close 1,000 stores. This is where they work. So they'll lose money if they have to stay in business. But yeah, there's nothing like credit tenants. I mean, if you have a Publix anchored center, you have cheaper debt than I would have.
The problem with the Publix and also a big tenant for that matter, your price per square foot goes down.
Yeah.
Because it gives 20,000 square feet,
Sure.
25,000 square feet. Better to do 2,000 square feet at a time, okay? Small base, you get more money.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side, you get a great tenant.
You get a great tenant, but you know what? I relate that back to you, and you have a clubhouse and a swimming pool. You get no money off that, but you need that to get the higher rents.
Right.
So we need Publix or we need Walmart at a very cheap
course.
rent to get all the offshoot tenants on the sides.
And then, by the way, if they leave and now the center goes dark and they keep paying the rent, they'll pay the rent, but it can be dark for the next 5 years, 7 years.
It's a very hard game. If these guys close, and they do,
Right.
and when they close, it's very painful for the center because it's like a void. It's a real void.
Nobody wants to go there. Right.
And that was in Verama, the one we started talking about at the beginning. That was a Winn-Dixie. And when we bought it, it was Winn-Dixie, and it got converted into smaller bays. It became the U.S. Post Office, executive offices. But it was very tough to rent, too, because it was a grocery store. These were long, narrow bays.
Right.
So, I mean, you had big spaces that were just really deep because
and the area, too, was going down. I mean, it got better.
The area has always been a tough area, a rough area. It's still not a great area per se. Right. It's gotten better, but it's on a busy street, so it gets that traffic in the daytime.
That's the key.
And that's the key that you're going to have.
Busy street. You can't.
You're going to have people just stop in as long as it's on a busy street.
Right. So we own the McNabb Plaza, on 441.
Sure. Same thing.
Same thing. And then Powerline Plaza.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had a couple in Cypress Creek. But again, I think that's to do with the traffic. That's the main thing that drives,
Yeah.
441 is great.
You're driving down the street. You need to get a sandwich or you want to have lunch. I mean, you just stop. You stop in the neighborhood you are in. That's just how it is. So that traffic pattern is everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice. So why do you believe more in the commercial? You firmly believe in retail. I mean, it's like you can't change your mind.
There's no change in my mind at this point. I'm baked into what I do, and I love what I do.
Right.
But I do tell everybody, you got to find the asset class you like. You can make money in multifamily. You're an example of that. I have friends who do self-storage. I have guys who do office. A good friend of mine, Robert Ravani, is doing an extraordinary office project in Miami, and I think he'll make money. But you got to find the asset class you like. So multifamily is easier to get into for the entry-level guy. But if you really like retail, I would rather someone buy a small retail center, learn what you want to be good at. But they all work. But they're just different.
Well, the multifamily, it's entry level only if we talk about 10 units, 5, 10 units.
Yeah.
But the big one, the 300, 400 unit communities, okay, those are not entry level, right? But
absolutely not. But if you just want to get started in real estate, you could go buy. People feel more comfortable at multifamily, in my opinion, because they understand how a house works. They understand that people always need a place to sleep. So they don't understand that a store, why does a chiropractor not want to be next to this tenant? They don't really get that. So that's what it's
the problem in 10 unit multifamily, there's no money.
It's true.
There's no money. I'd rather you buy 10 unit retail.
It's true. And what people don't realize is they think they're making money because they're self-managing and they're doing the repairs. And that's really what they're getting paid for their work.
The money in multifamily comes with 50, 70, 100 unit, 200 unit, okay? Yeah. We found that, like for me to close on 300 unit, it's easier than closing on 10 unit.
Yeah. Okay. It is. But you know what?
And it's the same amount of work.
You got to give the people the chance to get in because they have to go through that. And that's like they're going to school.
Oh, you have to
that's their college. They got to buy those 10,
going
50
pain.
Because no one's going to sell them 300 units.
No, that's what they call growing pain. Okay.
Yep, that's the growing pain. Great. Well, I like that. That's their growing pain.
Growing pain.
You got to learn, and it's just going to get better as you get more experience.
Just going to get better. Yeah. But we'll have the multifamily, right? Like what we did in Gainesville, when we bought it was 55% occupied. Mm-hmm. Student houses, okay? So we had to convert it. We had to let all the leases expire in July, okay, last year. Yeah. And from that point on, the building was, zero, went to zero. And then from there, you build up regular tenancy.
Right.
Not by the bed.
Right.
The problem by making money by the bed, let's say you charge $700 a month, by the bed. Mm-hmm. And now there is a brand new community, okay, closer to the university.
Yeah.
That $700 become maybe $780.
Yeah.
How do you compete with that?
Can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Nah, but multifamily, if I charge average rent, for example, for 2-bedroom, $1,300, next door is a brand new one. That brand new one, it's not become $1,350. It's $1,800, $1,900.
Yep.
It's a big difference for
That's
people.
right.
I will not lose people.
Especially a college student. Huge.
Correct.
Yeah.
I will not. I will. In fact, I will gain people
Yeah.
from next door class A. Okay.
100% it helps. And I tell people that all the time too. When new development comes in, because I have a lot of properties that are older, that are
Right.
20, 30, 40 years old, and alongside me, they're building a new center. I said, aren't you scared? No, it's the best day for me because that guy needs quadruple the rents I need to make money.
Right.
So he's going to bring the best in class because that's where they're going to want to
Of
come.
course.
Who are
You
going
wanna
to pay
see that.
$75 a foot. And I'm good at 20. I'm
And
making money at 15 a
Right,
foot.
right. But I feel bad to, all those like Gainesville, for example, Tallahassee, and other community. So what happened is they have a lot of multifamily that they rent to by the bed,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
And they're getting old, and like 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And there's brand new community, institutional type, that come in, okay, they don't care, they buy the bed, okay? They're going to eat.
Yeah.
The other guys, because they're not charging, maybe it's like it's very little more money by the bed, okay? And the closest universities.
That's what they're. My
And then
daughter's in Gainesville. That's exactly where she lives, in one of those buildings.
Was that?
My daughter's in Gainesville,
Very nice.
and
Very
she
good.
has one of those apartments that she shares, but
Right,
she has
right.
her own. You pay by the room,
Correct.
but you pick your roommates,
Correct.
and she has a great time, and that's it. Yeah, and
So-
it's great for the owner too of the property. But I agree with you entirely. The
What's going
multifamily
to
market's
happen
better.
is, okay, all those older community by the bed, I'm talking about 1990, even 2000, okay? 1990, 2000, okay, maybe 1982. By the bed, they're going to be eventually going to have to go to buy the conventional
Yeah.
because they can compete with the brand new product by the bed closer to university and, with the amenities and state of the art and whatnot, all those, technology.
That's right.
Can compete. It's very expensive.
You can't. Even if you think you
can't.
could stay in the game, the office building I'm in right now, where I'm a tenant, is a great example. It's a spectacular building. It's all glass. It's on here on Hollywood Boulevard. If you know, it's a presidential tower. When you drive by, it's amazing. But it can never compete with the new building, and they're not able to get the tenants like Microsoft or any of those guys because they want to be in LEED certified buildings.
Right.
And you're not going to do that to this building.
You
so
cannot.
your buildings just age out. That's why we have depreciation. They do age out.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. What do you think about our governor? He wants to do away with the real estate taxes. I don't believe it. But,
I don't know
wish.
how you're going to pull it off. I mean, obviously for me in real estate, it'd be great. I would love to see him do something. Honestly, I think we need to do more for the seniors. So if you said seniors over a certain age, and I think you need to cap it because if you're talking about the senior who has a $100 million house in Palm Beach on the ocean, he doesn't need no real estate taxes. But certainly maybe if you say on the first $500,000 of value for seniors, I think that's possible. But wiping out property taxes, I mean, where's that going to come from? So there's got to be a trade.
cannot, right.
Yeah.
And last thing I want to talk about insurance. That's pretty bad.
Horrible.
How do you feel? How does it with the commercial? I know multifamily suffer a lot.
Well, that's where I would say that's one of the edges retail has of a multifamily, because when my insurance goes up, I pass that expense off to my tenants based on the size of their unit. So it's very painful, but I don't feel it personally. I mean, I feel for them, of course, and I'm a tenant, but ultimately, if the bill goes up X amount of dollars, I dilute it by each tenant by the size of their space, and they got to pay it. However,
you don't feel
thankfully,
like you have to reduce the rent because of that? No.
you would going forward, but now keep in mind, that's the other side. My rents didn't skyrocket like residential did because people have 5-10 year leases.
There you
So
go. Right.
it's been kind of like a balancing act. But luckily, I will say that I've seen my insurance rates drop drastically.
So multifamily, for example, okay, South Florida, try 3,000, 4,000 per door.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you go north and even central and North
Yep.
Florida, it become less, under 2,000.
Yeah.
So the opportunity really for multifamily, I think more Central Florida and North Florida, because South Florida is played out already.
I love it. I agree with you entirely. I don't even really look at deals in Dade County because it's
Can't
gotten
forget
so
about
competitive
this.
and everything
Not
is
worth
worth
it.
more money as land than what it is today. So I'm with you. I was a big Broward County guy, which is like the Fort Lauderdale area, if
Right.
people don't know. And I just keep going north to Port St. Lucie, Riviera Beach. We're looking at deals in Jackson.
And do you visit them? Are you boots on the ground?
That's our strategy, is that we're always, within 3-4 hours of each property. So we could leave in the morning, see the property, deal with the property, and drive home and be home for dinner.
Oh, great. So you are boots on the ground.
Oh yeah,
you,
we
your
have,
people,
we have a big team, so we have boots
you
on
have a
the ground.
team.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't leave your people hanging. Of course, you need.
No, we have teams there.
Absolutely.
We don't have on-site
You take care of your team.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of
Well, you
course.
gotta
Our
take
team
care
is
of them.
great. I'm very lucky to have a great team with me. Yeah.
I believe it's like whatever you get, whatever you pay, you get.
I'm so proud of my team because they do a great job, and I'm always looking for people that really care about the properties and care about the tenants.
Right.
But
Coverpill.
yeah, commercial doesn't require on-site like management, like how you say you have that. And apartments generally do, but in commercial, we're not on-site. We work out of one office.
There is a lot of pluses for commercial.
Yeah,
indeed. There are a lot of pluses. Right.
Well, the only thing I want to do before we wrap up is convince you to sell me your retail plazas because you don't want them.
There you go.
Can we make a deal live on a podcast?
That's okay.
This is my book, Eyal. As mentioned to you earlier, Keeping It Real on Commercial Real Estate. It's a fantastic book. I give all the proceeds to charity from this book so the reader knows this is how I truly feel. I'm not in the book selling business, but I teach people in this book how to buy real estate, how to invest in real estate, how to invest in real estate companies that are publicly traded. And I touch every asset class from self-storage to office to your multifamily and my retail. So I highly recommend everybody get this book, and I'm flattered to give you a copy today.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to getting yours.
You will get mine very soon, and I'm going to read it and give you my comments.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you.
Okay.